On behalf of the Center for Children and Family Futures and the Family Treatment Court Practice Academy, welcome to our presentation. Special thanks to the Office of Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention, who supports the National Family Drug Court Training and Technical Assistance Program. The opinions, findings, and conclusions or recommendations expressed in this presentation are those of the authors and do not necessarily reflect those of the Department of Justice. For more information about the Center for Children and Family Futures, the Practice Academy, and the Family Drug Court Training and Technical Assistance Program, please visit our website at www.cffutures.org. We hope you find this presentation helpful as you strengthen partnerships and improve outcomes in your family treatment court. Welcome to our presentation, Putting the Pieces Together, Applying a Family-Centered, Problem-Solving Approach to Family Treatment Courts, Staffing, and Court Hearings. Family treatment courts, or FTCs, focus primarily on a parent's recovery when they first emerged in the mid-1990s. However, over the past decade, many FTCs evolved to meet the individual needs of parents and children. Still, services felt disconnected from each other and often overlooked the health of parent-child or family relationships. Today, model FTCs treat the parent, child, and the family unit as a whole, allowing families to break the cycle of substance use, child abuse, and neglect, while paving the way for healthy, stable home environments where children and their parents can thrive. FTC teams often understand the importance and benefits of treating the family unit, supporting the parent-child relationship, and problem-solving as a team to help the family meet their goals. However, many teams struggle to understand what this family-centered, problem-solving approach looks like in action. How do you respond to behavior instead of punish? How do you integrate discussions about parenting time in a short staffing window and a 5-minute discussion with the parent? How do you ensure all team members and the family have a voice in the process? If the what and why behind applying a family-centered problem-solving approach in your FTC is new to you, please check out the FTC Practice Academy webpage at www.cffutures.org/FTC-practice-academy for materials and resources that cover the basics behind these concepts. The goal of this Practice Academy course and these short animated videos is to demonstrate a model practice for family-centered staffing and treatment court hearings. The videos highlight one family during 2 different phases of their case. The first video focuses on strategies for early engagement while the mother has been in the FTC for 4 weeks and is in phase 1. The second video follows the same family, now 5 months into their case, and discussing reunification. The model presented today is an example of an integrated family treatment court. While we recognize the differences of integrated and parallel model FTCs, many of these concepts do still apply regardless of the model, although may look different in practice. For more discussion about how a parallel FTC has shifted to a family-centered approach, join us for the live webinar on May 25th. We also encourage you to download the Team Discussion tool to explore this topic while assessing your strengths and challenges and to discuss this topic with your colleagues. The pre-court staffing and court hearing you are about to observe focuses on applying a family-centered, problem-solving approach to serving a family in the reunification stages of the family treatment court. We acknowledge that the team members and roles represented in this video may not be a direct reflection of your team and that teams may not staff every family in this way each week. Let's start by meeting the team. Sasha is the substance use disorder treatment counselor. Janelle is the child welfare case manager. Hector is the parent's attorney. The presiding judge is the Honorable Judge Marika. Kathy is the child welfare agency attorney. Ames is the CASA guardian ad litem. And Sam is the FTC coordinator. To get started, here is some background information. The Anthony family became involved with child welfare after a daycare provider called the police when mom, Amy, did not pick up the children, Cooper, age 2, and Caitlin, age 4, at 6 p.m. when the daycare was closing for the day. Mom was located at her home by police and was found to be asleep after using methamphetamine for multiple days. The children's father is deceased and no other family was identified. The children were taken into protective custody and placed in out of home care with resource foster parents Alex and Gabby Garcia. Mom completed her substance use assessment and was recommended to attend intensive outpatient treatment called IOP, 3 days a week for 3 hours each day, plus a weekly individual therapy appointment. Mom entered the FTC 4 months ago and is currently in phase 2. Mom is stabilized in treatment, completed IOP, and recently moved to outpatient treatment with 1 2-hour group and 1 individual therapy session a week. She is also attending a family centered, evidence based parenting education program with the children. The family started with 2 2-hour parenting time sessions a week, monitored at the Child Welfare Office. Mom shows positive parenting skills during her time with her children. 6 weeks ago, the family increased to 3 2-hour community based parenting time sessions a week. About 2 weeks ago, the family and team began planning for reunification. Last week, Caitlin told mom during parenting education that she doesn't want to come home or come to the parenting classes again. Resource parents shared that Caitlin hasn't been sleeping well and has been acting out at preschool. Mom missed a drug screen on Monday and called her caseworker Tuesday telling her that she used alcohol. She canceled her parenting time on Monday and Tuesday, saying she was sick. Mom went to treatment on Tuesday and went to a support meeting Tuesday and Wednesday. Today is Thursday, and mom is scheduled for her regular FTC court hearing. The children are not present. Now we will observe a pre-court staffing, listen to language choices, what information is shared and prioritized, and the types of decisions and discussions the team focuses on.
Let's move on to Amy, Cooper, and Caitlin now. Cooper and Caitlin have been in their resource home now for 145 days. Mom is in phase 2 and recently completed IOP and moved to outpatient treatment. The family is currently having 3 2-hour visits unsupervised in the community. As you probably remember, we set a family meeting in 3 weeks to discuss a reunification plan. However, it seems Amy had a rough week. She missed a drug screen on Monday and canceled her Monday and Tuesday parenting time. She did reach out to her child welfare case manager and treatment counselor and let them know she used alcohol last weekend, and she attended her treatment session on Tuesday as well as support meetings Tuesday and Wednesday. So today, we need to talk about how the kids are doing in their services, parenting time and services, and discuss a response to help support Amy right now. Let's start with the kids and parenting time. Casa Guardian Ad Litem Ames. I know you just saw the kids a few days ago at a home visit. Do you want to start?
Thanks, Sam. I visited the kids at their resource foster home on Friday, and we did start talking about how they felt about returning home with their mom. Cooper seemed very excited about it. The Garcias said Cooper overall is doing well. He's eating and sleeping well, and after some tough transitions in the beginning, is doing well going back and forth between Amy and the resource home. However, Caitlin had a different reaction when we talked about starting to transition back home. She got really quiet and disengaged from our conversation. I also heard that she told Amy and the counselors on Friday night at parenting education that she didn't want to go home anymore. I think that was very hard for Amy to hear and could have contributed to her choosing to drink this weekend.
I agree, Ames. I think we may be seeing some signs that Amy and Caitlin's relationship needs some support. I would like to refer the family for an evidence-based child-parent relationship therapy assessment. I'll give the therapist this background information, and she can let us know if they are a good fit. I have a few other updates on the kids' services. As you know, both kids had developmental assessments when the case started. Caitlin was found to be developmentally on track, and no services were recommended. Cooper has a language delay and has been referred for speech therapy, but the waiting list is long. The Garcias have been calling each week to check for any cancellation openings, and Amy has been proactive too. I can consult with my supervisor to see if we have any other referral options, but services are limited. The kids also had a doctor appointment to get caught up on their immunizations. Amy attended their last appointments and talked with their pediatrician.
Thank you both. Sounds like it was a heavy week, but we know to expect some struggles and new feelings from everyone when we start to move towards reunification. We will need to make some decisions about parenting time moving forward, but first, I'd like to hear from treatment counselor Sasha. Sasha, what are your thoughts on Amy's relapse?
I'd call this more of a lapse, actually. She did drink alcohol, but called her support system the next day, came back to treatment, and is re engaged. This is major progress and exactly what we ask of people in early recovery. She learned from the experience, she is very ashamed of her choice to drink, and talked in group about her decisions and where she could have reached out for help sooner. She did identify that Caitlin's statement during parenting education on Friday was a big trigger to her because one of her biggest fears is that her children are better off with the Garcias. We are going to keep processing that in her individual sessions.
That's great info, Sasha. Thank you. I don't want to discredit all the work Amy has done up to this point, but I don't want her to think drinking alcohol is the answer to deal with her feelings. Do you have any recommendations for her treatment level of care moving forward? Does she need a treatment adjustment?
She is still clinically appropriate for outpatient, so I would like to keep her there. But we talked yesterday, and she would like to attend 2 individual therapy sessions a week right now to process everything that is going on, plus her relapse prevention group. I'm supportive of that, but we won't be able to increase the individual for a couple of weeks until I have an opening in my schedule. She also spent some time with her peer mentor, Tara, after our session, and she is a positive support. Tara may be able to see Amy more frequently until we can increase her individual therapy with me. We can reassess once the assessment for the child-parent therapy is completed.
That makes sense. So, what I'm hearing is that the why behind Amy's use of alcohol and missed drug screen may be that she was troubled by Caitlin's reaction to returning home. She's already back on track in treatment. It seems like an appropriate response is for Amy to complete the child parent therapy assessment and to increase her support at treatment for the time being. Parent attorney Hector, do you think this plan will help re engage Amy in her parenting role?
I think that's a great next step for Amy and the family. I did connect with her earlier this week. She was feeling so proud of herself for all the progress she had made over the past few months. Amy was on the Section 8 housing waitlist prior to entering the program, and she just secured housing that will be appropriate for the kids. She received a promotion at her job last week, too. It also sounds like she has really connected with the recovery community. She has been doing well, but I think she also started feeling overwhelmed about getting closer to reunification. And then Caitlin's reaction exacerbated her fears, like Sasha said.
Thank you, Hector. I'm so happy to hear she reached out to all of you this week. Let's talk about her parenting time. How is everyone feeling about her having unsupervised time with the kids right now? Child Welfare Agency Attorney Kathy, what does the department think?
This is difficult, honestly. We expected more from Amy at this point after about 4 months in treatment. The positive decisions outweigh the negative ones, though. Although Amy did use alcohol this weekend, we were very happy to see that she was honest about her use and got re-engaged with her supports right away. She was not under the influence around her kids. She chose to cancel parenting time ahead of time when she wasn't in a good spot to be with her kids. While that was hard on the kids, it was also a safe decision. We do not feel like visits need to be supervised at this point. However, we do want to offer Amy support in the next few weeks with the kids to help her respond to the kids' questions and comments and to help Caitlin through this stressful time. Is anyone on the team available to help support the family through this next week?
The department just started a new pilot program for evening parenting time supervision to meet the needs of families. I can see if there's an available slot for Amy and the kids tonight during their regularly scheduled parenting time. They also have parenting education tomorrow. I can ask Gabby and Alex if one of them would be able to attend to support the family. I connected with the child parent therapist earlier today, and she had a cancellation for Monday and can start the assessment process then.
I can help as well. I'm available next Tuesday to monitor their parenting time, if we feel like that is still needed. Let's check in on Monday to see how things are going.
Great. Thank you both. We can check in with Amy today and make sure she's comfortable with that. We think this is a good plan to get us to next week's court hearing when we can all talk again. And it supports the family without reducing any family time.
I like this plan. Thank you all for working hard to meet the needs of the family. I agree that is what's best for the family right now. I would also like to keep the family meeting scheduled in 3 weeks to continue discussing the reunification process and what other supports may need to be put in place to make it successful. Okay, so Amy's response will be to go to her child parent therapy assessment Monday and to increase her peer support meetings with Tara until her individual therapy can be increased for a few weeks. I'll also talk with Amy about her parenting time adjustments and see what support she needs. Anything else? Any other updates?
Amy made a comment to me about the anniversary of the kid's dad's death coming up next week. It's a pretty big trigger for her. Sasha, do you think you could help her plan for that day so she has some support?
Yes, absolutely. Thanks for letting me know.
Thanks, everyone. All right, on to Mark.
Now, we will observe the FTC hearing where Judge Marika talks with Amy.
Hello, Amy. It's great to see you today. Thank you for being here. How are you today? I heard it was a hard week, and I'm very happy to see you here today. Showing up is a big deal. I know you know that, so thank you. What can you tell me about things since I saw you last?
I don't know. Everything was going so well last week, and I've been enjoying my time with the kids. I decorated their room for them with their favorite things so it would be ready for them when they can come home. And then I just messed everything up. I can't believe I drank this weekend. I feel like I'm starting over, and I hurt them so bad. Maybe they are better off with Alex and Gabby. They are good people and can give them so many things I can't.
It sounds like you have been thinking about a lot of hard things this week. First, I am very proud of you for being honest about drinking and letting Sasha and Janelle know what happened. And you went back to treatment on Tuesday. That doesn't sound like starting over to me. What do you think you would have done at the beginning of the program if you drank?
I don't know. I probably wouldn't have told on myself, though. I probably would have tried to hide it unless it showed up in my drug screen.
That shows a lot of progress to me. It shows me that you want something better for yourself and for your kids. You are still showing up and doing the hard work. Now, I heard that Caitlin said some things on Friday that were difficult to hear. Do you want to talk about that?
I can't even say it out loud. It was so hard to hear my little girl say that to me. I know I haven't always been the best mom, but we used to be so close. I didn't know how to handle it, and I went into a big spiral and decided they will never come home, and I just drank. I wish I would have handled that differently. I should have called Sasha or Tara before I drank. I get that now.
It sounds like you have some good ideas for how to handle your difficult feelings next time they come around, because we know you will have those feelings again. Being a parent is hard, and kids can say some hurtful things. Caitlin is telling us through her behaviors and words that she is struggling right now with all the changes, and maybe she is scared to start moving forward towards coming home. I want you to know that this is something we see often with families when we start talking about reunifying. It doesn't mean that she doesn't want to be with you. It means that we need to get some services in place to help you two on your relationship, and Cooper as well. We would like you and the kids to go to an assessment on Monday for child parent therapy, which is a great therapy for parents and their young kids. Have you heard of that?
Yes, I heard another parent in my treatment class talk about it. I'm nervous, but excited too. I don't know how to talk to Caitlin about all of this.
And we wouldn't expect you to know how. These are tough conversations. The response for using alcohol and missing your drug screen will be to attend that assessment on Monday. We also would like you to increase your support at treatment by meeting with Tara more frequently until Sasha can increase your individual therapy appointments. Do you have any questions?
Yeah, what about my time with the kids and my meeting to talk about the kids coming home?
I asked the team to keep your meeting set in 3 weeks. I want you all to meet and talk about what supports you and the kids need in place to work towards getting them home. If you all start the child parent therapy, then your therapist can come to that as well and help put some things in place. I know reunification is an exciting time, but it can also be scary for parents and kids. Most families need a lot of support around that time. I would also like you to think about attending the Reunification Support Group. A lot of parents tell me it's helpful as they get close to their kids coming home and parenting full time. Your peer support specialist, Tara, facilitates that group. We want to keep your parenting time at 3 times per week for 2 hours, but we also want to help you and the kids be supported right now since things have been hard. Janelle is checking on availability for the Parenting Time Pilot program, so you have support tonight to help you talk with Caitlin. She's also going to ask Gabby and Alex if one of them can attend parenting education with you all tomorrow night. Are you comfortable with that?
Yeah, I mean, they've never gone before, but I've seen other resource parents there, and I know it would help Caitlin feel more comfortable.
Thanks, Amy. I appreciate how you always consider your kids' needs. I know you usually come to court every other week, but let's have you come back to court next week so we can check in about a plan moving forward.
Okay, it'll be a better week. Promise.
I'm excited to hear about it. One more thing. I also heard that there's a tough anniversary coming up for you next week. I'm so sorry. I want to make sure you have the support you need to get through it. Do you have any plans in place?
I don't even want to think about it.
I'm sure that is really hard. But I want you to focus on creating a plan when you meet with Sasha next. Anniversaries and holidays can be very difficult for people in early recovery, and I want you to have a plan in place.
Okay, I'll talk to Sasha and Tara too. I can go to my recovery support group that day too.
Thanks, Amy. Thank you for being here today and for doing all this hard work. I am proud of you for being honest and for having these difficult conversations. We will see you next week.
Thanks for watching. If you haven't already, please be sure to also watch the first video in this series focused on early engagement. For next steps, download the Team Discussion Tool from the Practice Academy webpage at www.cffutures.org/FTC-practice-academy to begin exploring this topic and assessing strengths and challenges for your FTC. Join us for a live conversation on May 25th via Zoom, featuring fellow practitioners who will share their experience in adopting a family-centered, problem-solving approach and will answer your questions related to this topic. Participants will have access to a Take Action tool after the live conversation, distilling information into actionable next steps to help your team shift from learning to action. Additional resources are available on CCFF's FTC Practice Academy webpage to supplement and support your learning and action. Training and technical assistance is available at any time during your learning journey from the CCFF FDC TTA team. You can reach us at fdc@cffutures.org. Thank you for watching.